Please, this video that you're about to watch this video to the very end of it, so that you will know your stand as a one Nigeria. There is a lot of secretive things. There's a lot of secret things that is happening around you, which most of the Nigeria government media are not disclosing to anybody. Based on the information available to us, the American missionary who is on the ground working secretly, tirelessly, to uncover all the evil that is happening in Nigeria, have reviewed what is going on and what happened yesterday in Nigeria. So please, all I'm asking is just to take your time and digest this video. Don't watch this video in a hurry, because what you're about to witness here will be a shock turn of events to you. So please, don't miss this video for anything. Let's see what this America have for Nigerians. Don't go anywhere.
A 2-year-old was just put in prison for owning a Bible. They're throwing people in jail in Iran right now for having the Word of God. They've killed 7,000 Christians in the last 220 days in Nigeria. And we're just blind, we're just learning about this in the West. But this is how they live overseas, and they're happy about it. They don't want safety, they want scripture, and they don't have the scriptures, but we do when we let it sit on our nightstand collecting dust. But for $5 for a cup.
Some breaking news: Nigeria has just been attacked and at least 80 soldiers have been killed. And this attack was so big that the Nigerian Air Force had to carry out dozens of airstrikes against these attackers. Well, Nigeria just announced that last night in the state of Borno, Boko Haram and other terrorist groups launched a massive planned attack onto a military base in the state. Nigeria spoke on the attack and they said, quote, Nigeria's Air Force carried out precision strikes and allied Nigerian jets hit the retreating insurgents. However, it was not an easy fight, and they also said, quote, 4 soldiers were wounded and evacuated for treatment. Now, according to reports, the fighting went on for hours, and because of that, quite a lot of people died. Nigeria says that only 4 of their soldiers were killed, and they managed to kill 80 of the insurgent terrorist attackers who were attacking this military base. But according to other reports, Boko Haram and the terrorists claim that they killed dozens of the Nigerian army's soldiers. And so we don't really know who to believe. There's 2 different sides of the story, but all we know is that a military base in the state of Borno in Nigeria came under attack last night and this morning. And it was a very planned surprise attack against the base. But luckily, the Nigerian army and the government managed to fight them back and push them back so that they couldn't get control of the base. They didn't do that, though, without taking some damage themselves. But from the reports we've got at the moment, the fighting has kind of stopped. However, this is nothing rare for Nigeria. Stuff like this happens all the time. So you can leave me a follow, because I'm going to keep you up to date on all of the global news that you would not have heard about if you didn't leave me a follow for news like this.
I have held my tongue on Boko Haram for about a week since this broke, as I cogitated on it, and as I did research. And there are thousands of points that go into this, literally thousands of points. So I tend to get caught up trying to give you all my data points of why I'm telling you something before I ever get to what I'm going to say. But let me just say this. We know Boko Haram is working for Western intelligence agencies as a central Western or Western central destabilization force, just like they had PSYOPs to overthrow the Ukrainian government that were State Department funded on record. They would say in the videos, I'm grassroots, I'm filming this myself, no one told me to do it. And then it would end up, it was an actress funded publicly by the State Department. That's how dumb they think you are. So I knew Boko Haram, or Boko Haram, was a double, triple agent operation, because the majority are Christian and animist. If you add those 2 groups together in Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, like 300 million people or something now, almost. I mean, it's incredible. And that they're being used as a pretext to basically militarize the central government that, again, is Christian/animist or earth worship group, and that they're playing that group off against them so that Nigeria will take Western aid and more IMF World Bank funding, and so they can be controlled by the globalists. It's just like they've brought AFRICOM the last few years into Africa. They took out Libya, put al-Qaeda in. The federal government admitted last week that Oh my gosh, it was a total screw-up taking out Gaddafi. It's horrible there now. No colleges. The women are having burqas put on their heads. And Al-Qaeda is using it to launch attacks all over Africa. It was a perfect military base for clandestine Al-Qaeda operations in Libya. That was the plan. Now the U.S. military and the French military in Ivory Coast and North Africa, everywhere else, can come in and invade, and they just say on the news it's to fight Al-Qaeda, but even the president of the Ivory Coast earlier this year said, no, it is white mercenaries taking over the oil rigs, and then NATO shows up with France to kick them out and takes the nation's oil rigs. And the presidential palace blows up. You know, it was in a couple of those. Ivory Coast is one country. There's a couple others. Sierra Leone, you name it. I mean, it's so much of this is going on, I can't even keep track of it. And I know the countries and the players in Guyana and all the rest of it. I mean, it's just full-out war in Africa. And the governments even get it. These are pro-Western governments that are being double-crossed, by the way. These are Christians and tribalist, animist, you name it. They're not even Muslims. And they're in the news. You can pull it up, saying this is staged. They run the radical Muslims. So I wanted to go over some of this to explain what's happening, but basically it's just a smokescreen. Yeah, there's the Global Research headline. CIA covert ops in Nigeria, fertile ground for U.S.-sponsored balkanization. And that's an article from, I guess, 2 days ago. They are for destabilization, balkanization, crises, so the UN, NATO, and the globalists in AfriCon can come in then with Marshall plans for Europe, Marshall plans for Africa, Marshall plans for Pakistan. I mean, why did the U.S. government fly 44,000 Taliban al-Qaeda leaders and top military and al-Qaeda in the airlift of evil 2 months after the war started in 2001? Why did they fly them out in November, started in September? Why did they fly them out and give them weapons and gold? Also untraceable gold to buy more weapons to then attack and destabilize and infiltrate the government of Pakistan. But just here's one example today on this from Breitbart. Hillary Clinton protested designation of Boko Haram as terrorist group. While Secretary of State Hillary Clinton fought hard against officially designating the Islamicists of Boko Haram as a terror group, placing her in the camp of far leftist group MoveOn.org. They're not far left, folks. George Soros was a Nazi collaborator. He funds MoveOn. They have to cover every area of the chessboard. They have to be the liberal opposition, so no real opposition to war forms. It's like The Thing, the 1980s John Carpenter film. It plans to take over the whole world, ladies and gentlemen, and it will play the part of every group. That's why it keeps winning. Hillary Clinton is an ultra-wicked, anti-human garbage, a psychopathic demon, a full-spectrum dominance worm. But right here, why do you think you saw Michelle Obama last week sickeningly saying bring back her girls with a look? It gives them moral high ground. Look, we're fighting radical Islam. Look, we care about women's rights. Meanwhile, the group is globalist run. And they're going to use it to invade all of Africa to, quote, hunt down anybody they want, bypassing radical Muslims and going right at the Christians they kill all over Africa. Just like the UN did in 94 in Rwanda. That wasn't a UN screw-up. I mean, and everybody goes, look at Michelle. She's so upset. This is sick. Boko Haram in the north is being given globalist aid to break that country in two and destabilize all of Western Africa.
Hello, everybody. This is Judd Saul, the Executive Director of Equipping the Persecuted. You can find us and learn more information about our organization at equippingthepersecuted.org. That's equippingthepersecuted.org. I don't come out on video very often, and when I do, it's because I have something that really needs to be said that no one's talking about. And sadly to say, through our sources on the ground in Nigeria and some of our sources from truthnigeria.com, I'm issuing a terror alert that is very imminent that everyone needs to know about. We have critical information of upcoming attacks in Taraba and in southern Kaduna. And when I mean imminent attacks, this means that Fulani ethnic militia have been sighted. They've been gathering. They are preparing for major attacks in Taraba and southern Kaduna. We're expecting an imminent attack in Taraba around March 23rd. FEM, Takum unit, Fulani ethnic militia unit in Takum, is mobilizing fighters and staging positions. They are armed movement. We're seeing armed movements across the Donga River toward Chenjenji. Fighters embedded via cattle herds. Drone confirmed machine gun presence. And there was a recent attack in Tor Damisa where 5 people were killed, but that's just the beginning. They're amassing and planning for a large attack. The staging area is in New Gaboko, and it's around seized farmland, and it's under active terrorist control. Attack is likely within days. We're expecting right after Ramadan. So those of you in Taraba, in the Chinchenji Yelwa access, be on alert. They are moving. They are planning major attacks in Taraba. Please be careful. And now we have information in southern Kaduna. They are planning a major attack in Chikun, Kajuru, and Kachia. We are seeing movements, mass movements of terrorists. They've been gathering since March 16th. They're amassing in certain areas, preparing for a large attack. Large motorcycle convoys are advancing and heavy infiltration into forest zones and communities. High-risk areas, Rajana Forest, Kamuku Forest, and Burnangwari Corridor. They're amassing, they're gathering, they're planning major attacks in southern Kaduna. Attack is imminent. This is max alert status. So what we're telling everybody is avoid remote and isolated areas, report suspicious movement to the police and military, but they probably won't do anything anyway because they never do, but do your best to try to alert the authorities, but alert the local communities, talk to your local officials, talk to your pastors, talk to your local leaders, and I'm telling you, these attacks are imminent. Be on guard. Urgent operations in both regions. We need the Nigerian military and police forces to deploy immediately. Disrupt motorcycle movement. If you're seeing terrorists with guns on motorcycles traveling through the area, perhaps you should stop them instead of letting them go by. Quit taking the money, quit taking the naira, quit letting terrorists go back and forth. It's time you guys, Nigerian government, local government officials, police, military, start arresting criminals and start protecting the innocent civilians. So I'm just saying both regions show a clear sign of imminent terrorist attacks. Immediate action is critical to save lives. If the Nigerian government's not going to protect you Nigerians, go protect yourselves, evacuate, stand up for your communities, whatever you feel you have within your power, please do it. But I can't sit by and let this intelligence go to waste. I have to let you know that we are spotting criminals, we're spotting terrorists, Fulani ethnic militia to be specific. Let's name who they are. The Fulani ethnic militia are massing, they are gathering, they have weapons, and they're planning to attack in Taraba and southern Kaduna. And I'm praying to God that these attacks are thwarted and lives are saved. In the meantime, for the rest of you watching this that don't live in Kaduna or Taraba, please pray with me and pray for our persecuted brothers and sisters that they're safe. Please do something about this. Nigerian government leaders, whoever, U.S. government, U.S. embassy, please do something about this right now and save lives. Here's your opportunity. God bless. If you would like to support our mission, equipping the persecuted, a mission that's actually trying to stop the persecution in Nigeria, that's saving lives on a daily basis. Equipping the persecuted is the organization y'all should support. But in the meantime, call your congressman, call your senator, call the Nigerian government, tell them to protect the innocent Christians that are about to get killed in a couple of days. God bless.
Now that you have seen the full clips, what did you see? This is exactly what that had been going on for a decade. And the Northerners are just covering it up till this very moment. But all thanks to this America. All thanks to these American missionaries who have taken it upon themselves to unveil to the world for the evil that is happening in daily basis in Nigeria. Look at how thousands of soldiers was unalive in cold-blooded in Meduguri, and everywhere was silent as if all is right, all is not right. And all thanks to these American missionaries who have disclosed these thousands of Christians that are being massacred in daily basis. That is to say that the genocide which Nigeria government have been denying since all this while are ongoing, and they don't want to hear it out just because their aim and their interest was just for 2027 general election. What a country. That is why I keep telling you guys that this country called Nigeria is just a mere geographic area. It's never be a country. Imagine a country of 230 million people was have only 2 viable seaports in the country. What a shame. My people, be wise. Be wise. Start to voice that, because this is the time to tell ourselves the truth. And let us stop sugarcoating, because this Nigeria, this year one Nigeria is not working. This unholy marriage is not working, and it can never work. Imagine where your ancestor called Tifnubu traveled to UK just to honor a festival of what? Tea party in UK. And end of the whole game, a now borrowed 750 million euros as a loan to do what? To take finance his political game, political ambition come 2027. What a disgraceful country called Nigeria. My people, share this video widely. Share it widely because it was shared. If you love what we do here in this Global Love Channel TV, please don't hesitate to touch the hand for subscribe button, like and turn on the notification bell, so that whenever we upload a new video like this, you'll be the first person to be notified. And in doing that, you're encouraged not to do more, because togetherness, we shall save life together. Africa life matters. Don't play with your life, because life has no duplicate. If you see something, always say something, because an injustice for one remains an injustice for all. Till next time, see you in my next video. Bye for now. Thank you.